Hey guys, me Kickassreaction here, and we are back with some more of Batman, the animated series. We're going for episodes 51 to 55 in this set. Just 3 sets to go, and then we're done with season 1. And that sounds pretty hot. So yeah, again, not really sure what to expect in this one. You know, you guys kind of already know what my favorite kind of episodes are. I'm still really, I'm really expecting, or not expecting, hoping at this point to get a bit of a team-up episode between some villains, you know. Not only do we have to, I think, get a team-up, we have to actually reintroduce some of them, because, I mean, Clayface and Mr. Freeze have not come back since their debuts, which I still find pretty hilarious and pretty crazy, honestly. You know, Mr. Freeze, I can at least say that I'm not entirely sure if he is a villain that would come back or not. At least in this series, I know he does come back. You know, he is a decently popular villain in Batman. But Clayface, no, we teased him being out of prison, escaping, and that was very long ago. I think it was either episode like 18 or 19 is when the two-parter for his origin, like, ended off. You know, we're in the 50s now, so that's pretty nuts. Miss Quinn has come back more times than him at this point, and I did not expect that whatsoever. And we even had a kind of the first proper team-up episode of the show, with Harley and Ivy in the last set. I know that, you know, I went through it before, but I know that we had the Doctor Strange episode where, you know, some villains came together, but it wasn't truly a kind of team-up. It was more just like a bidding auction that kind of turned into a pseudo team-up at the end, but, you know, it's kind of a thing. So that's kind of like my big kind of thing I'm hoping for in this one. You know, obviously, many different characters I kind of wish to get more time in the show. You know, Selina would be nice to see more of for her dynamic with Batman. It'd be cool if she also met Robin. You know, that's not really something that's come up because Robin is so sporadic throughout the show. You know, Batman's kind of allies and villains don't really interact with Robin all that much. I think we've had 2 to 3 episodes involving Riddler with Robin. Scarecrow, I think, got 2 involving Robin. But, you know, I don't think he's been in anything with the Joker, with Two-Face, although Two-Face is also a little sporadic throughout the show as well. And just characters like that, you know. I'm still wondering if Miss Batgirl, or Batwoman, however you say it, is coming in the series as well. I know Gordon's niece, Barbara, was introduced, and I'm still on the idea that she is Batgirl. You know, unless there is another Barbara in the show and I was misremembering or doing that kind of stuff. You know, that could happen, but again, we're getting pretty close to the end of Season 1, and after that, there's not really much more in comparison to this season, so not really sure. But anyway, I mean, I guess overall, you know, we are technically, like, a little over halfway of the entire thing, because the new Batman Adventures is part of this continuity. It's just, I don't get it. For some reason, it's labeled differently than the rest of the series, which, again, very confusing. So I guess technically we're not quite halfway yet, but even still, it's like, come on. 50 episodes is more than enough time to bring some people back more often. And we're at the point where we still might even be introducing more villains. We got introductions in the last episode to more characters, so the show never just... It's kind of a cool thing. The show just never, I guess, loses its steam, I want to say. It always has time to introduce new people, even though it does, you know, could use some more consistency with other villains and whatnot, but we'll see. You know, Clayface is kind of the big one, because he is the one that was teased to still be out there, and has never been brought back up again in any capacity. So, most interested I am at the moment is for Clayface. Now that Harley's been introduced and is part of the main roster of Joker, Clayface is like the new one for me. So yeah. Let's go on with episode 51. Do... Do-do. Do-do. The reaction speed of the criminals is honestly a crime in of itself. The amount of times Bruce would have been done if someone just fucking fired the minute they drawed. What do we got? Alright. Right back at it with Robin. Robin's Reckoning. Ominous.
If I knew it was gonna take this long, I would have brought my homework. You sure about this extortion ring?
Uh-huh.
It's been 4 hours.
Uh-huh.
You still think they'll show?
Uh-huh. Wow.
Lucky for me, you're such a good conversationalist.
Yeah, it's like he enjoys trolling him. Uh-huh.
There's the slime.
All right.
These are contract saboteurs, Robin. Let's take it by the numbers. Nice and easy.
Yeah, time to kick some butt.
Good thing we had that little chat.
For sure. Damn, he really does seem happy teasing him like that.
Okay, now I'm gonna need a charge.
How about Yahoo!
Good lord. That is so dangerous. Like, even among the stuff Batman usually does. Definitely got some balls, though. I would not fight anyone
Come on.
on something that narrow. Holy Christ.
This is getting sad.
Like, it is a miracle he did not just fall to his death there. Go for the leg. Yeah, like, if you're gonna drop him, just trip him up. You wanna surrender, bro? Oh, crap. Oh, crap! Some things just are not worth the money. Even if that's like 7 figures, some things just aren't worth it, bro.
It's back to the gym for you.
Yeah, and Robin's really just treating this like a joke in this episode. Not so cocky now, are we?
Let them go.
That was a weird run
He's all we
animation.
need. Now, who's behind this little enterprise?
I ain't saying nothing till I see my lawyer.
Suit yourself.
You want to use the L word with
Let's
me?
go.
Wait! You gotta help me. I mean, the cops wouldn't leave me.
We're not the police. You want help? I want a name. Who's your boss?
I can't say nothing. He'll tear me apart.
Oh, then you've got a problem.
Oh, hey, come on.
Dude,
For
you...
pity's sake.
The fact you're holding on still
It's Marin! Billy
is
Marin!
insane.
Marin.
And where do we find Mr. Marin?
I don't... look, I can't spill it.
Forget it, Robin.
What?
The name's all we
I
need.
said forget it.
But this guy's ready to sing.
Let it go. The police can take it from here. Go get the Batmobile.
What?
Now!
Damn, okay. Interesting. We don't really see discourse between these two that much.
right, scum bucket. It's you, me, and 30 stories. You're gonna tell me exactly what I want to know.
Wow. This is kind of weird, right? Like, he was kind of joking around with Robin at the start and then just fucking lost it at the end.
I'm working alone tonight.
Hey, come on. I don't get to do this much since I started college. If it's because I jumped the gun back there, I'm sorry.
It's something I have to do alone.
So that's it. No apologies, no explanation, just see you later, kid.
You know the rules. There are times when I can't explain
My actions even to you. Hey, that line worked great in 6th grade, but in case you hadn't noticed.
We'll discuss this later.
I guess it's most likely someone from Bruce's past. Because when that name came up, things changed.
That's what I'd like to know.
Ooh, chocolate cake. How nice.
I'll
Crime
never
he didn't
be like
finish
him,
yet.
Alfred. Never. He's a stone-cold, self-righteous...
Master Dick, try not to be too critical. I'm certain, whatever his reasons, Master Bruce has your best interest in mind.
He shuts me out, man. Treats me like a kid.
You are one.
I don't get it. Everything was going great until that Marin business came up. You ever hear of a crook named Billy Marin, Alfred?
Can't say that I have, but I'm not one to peruse post office walls.
I think Batman has. There. Billy Marin, alias Simon Dirks, Sid the Squid, Killer Coburn, Punky Lesh. But who is he really? Tony Zuko. Oh my word. Finally.
Tony Zuko, huh? Yeah, we did have the whole circus arena thing at the start. How dare you show a circus and it not be in the Joker's reference? This almost feels a bit like a crime in of itself in this franchise.
Okay, Dick. You ready?
Ready, Dad?
Oh, parents again.
That Grayson kid's a real boy wonder.
Is that Mummy?
Hey! Okay, Sitka. Give it back. Come on, you.
You heard me. Get out!
Oof.
I run an honest business here. I don't pay two-bit hoodlums protection money.
Insurance, Mr. Haley. You know, from accidents. Can't run a business without insurance.
Get off my property while you can still walk.
Jesus!
Hey, fine. I've tried
Wow,
to
that's
be
extreme.
reasonable. You don't want my services? Okay. But you're gonna wish you listen, old man. Oh, yeah. Keep my number handy. You're gonna be calling Tony Zuko, and soon.
Wow.
Out of my way, punk.
Of course he looks just like Robin. So what do you do? Kill the whole staff?
Step right up this way to the Big Top Extravaganza.
Of course. The name Wayne is always in this.
In 1 hour.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, welcome to the grandest show on earth. Before we begin, let's have a hand for the benefactor of tonight's action-packed pageant, Mr. Bruce Wayne.
Oh, I feel bad for that guy.
Direct your attention high above the center ring for a dazzling display of aerial artistry.
Hey, that's the guy that...
Come on, honey, we're on.
Performing death-defying stunts without the aid of a net. The fabulous Flying
Yeah.
Tyson.
This stunt is insane, honestly, and terrifying. God, so it was probably a choice. Like, if Bruce got this guy saved, it was probably either he saves Robin or the daddy, and obviously the kid comes first. Oh no! And the mother too! Oh my god. Yeah. They didn't show it, but obviously
It had to be that guy.
implied it happened right there.
That Mr. Haley.
A fucking public death in front of everyone.
I tried to tell my folks, but...
And that explains why Bruce is so annoyed, because he couldn't save them.
I want an APB on this Zuko character now.
What about the boy?
Mr. Wayne.
I was in the audience. Couldn't leave after this. Does he have anyone?
No. No family. Some of the circus people want to take him in, but frankly, I'm afraid Zuko might try to shut him up. The boy's a material witness. We'll be here tonight, but I might have to find a safe house.
I may be able to help.
And
That's-
remember, lad, you'll always be a part of this family.
Thanks, Mr. Haley.
And that's why he took him under his wing. Pretty much
I know,
saw the
sister.
same thing in
I'm
him,
gonna miss you too.
except it, like, God. This was very public and happened right in front of Robin's eyes. I forget if Bruce witnessed the murder himself of his parents. Probably, though. Just to add to the trauma and motivation. God, that's still crazy! Obviously, they can't show that kind of stuff, but just the implication of what happened there is insane. God. Wow.
I hope you find this room to your liking. It was Master Bruce's when he was your age.
Look, Dick. It's not going to be easy. You have to take it a day at a time. But for however long it takes, you have a home with us.
Thanks, Mr. Wayne.
Bruce.
Bruce.
Come, sir. I do believe Master Dick could use some time to settle in.
I like how Gordon looks like a lot younger, but Alfred does not look any different whatsoever. Yeah, God, that is bone-chilling, honestly.
It's not right, Alfred. He can't take Zuko away from me. I won't let him.
Nice. So we got one of those rare,
To be that guy.
awesome
That's
cases
Mr. Haley.
where the hero's out for blood.
Zuko.
Isn't Bruce coming down to eat?
I'm afraid not tonight, Dick. I've got a late meeting. Could be fruitful.
Very good, sir.
He has a meeting every night. Who does he see?
Some of the most influential people in Gotham City.
You could say that.
Come on, 7. Snake Eyes.
And of course, he's probably spent all those years tracking this guy.
Tough luck. Maybe I can change the way they roll. Hey, you're afraid of Tony Zuko's, ain't you? I hear he's been feeling the heat lately.
Lucky 5. Yeah, the Z-Man's been lying low, all right.
They say he's got bat problems.
Big bat problems.
Can't help wondering how he's keeping out of sight.
You do an awful lot of wondering for someone we ain't ever seen before. What'd you say your name was?
Smith.
Wow, the most basic ass white name you could have come up with.
Smith, would it? Or maybe Sergeant? Check his wallet out.
Oh, nice. You idiot. Oh, that was great. Love we just changed like that.
No way. I ain't no squealer. You get nothing out of me. You hear? Nothing.
Very well.
Stromwell. He's with Stromwell, his uncle. Okay, all right?
Oh. It's always a treat when they use, like, they change up the animation to make Batman that more threatening. And it always works.
Who's there?
I wonder if it's like mostly a case where he just had nothing on Zuko.
You might try knocking sometime.
This isn't a social call. I've come for your nephew, Tony Zuko.
You can't just barge in here making demands.
I want him bad, Stromwell. Real bad.
How should I know where he is?
I think the only time we've seen Bruce this serious was the kid trafficker episode. With the orphans in the sewers.
Grumpy. You don't want to see me.
It's never been this personal before.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Smooth, Uncle Artie. Real smooth. Yeah, you sure suckered that pointy-eared freak. He won't be messing around here anymore.
Damn.
You and your penny anti-extortion racket. Look what you brought on my house.
Damn.
Come on. Stop already. We can handle the Batman.
No, buddy boy, this time you've gone too far. You're no longer a part of this family, you hear?
Jesus. Holy Christ. Okay, it seems like the families aren't like honest people, it seems. If he disowned him for shit like that. Really think he'd be alive if it was that easy?
I was so close, Alfred, I could smell his sweat. From now on, Tony Zuko gets my undivided attention.
How fortunate for Zuko. Because there's a little boy up there who's just aching for some of that attention.
I'm doing this for him.
Well, that was unfortunate, especially in an episode like this, but oh well.
I'm sure revenge
We're still going.
Deliciously sweet. However, at the moment, he needs a friend. Isn't that what you needed, sir?
Hey, Dick.
Hey.
How you doing?
Fine.
Sorry I haven't been around. I forget how big and lonely this place can be.
That's okay.
As it turns out, I may have some free time starting tomorrow.
How long did it take for him to
season opener?
Open up and reveal the Batman?
Great.
I know it must be very difficult.
If only I could have stopped him. I saw him coming out of the tent. I knew he didn't belong there.
Yeah.
You keep thinking, if only I'd done something differently. If only I could have warned them. But there isn't anything you could have done.
Admittedly, he did try to warn them.
Either of us could have done.
Your mom and dad?
It's almost the same story. Oh!
I wish I could say yes.
That's a hard question.
But it will get better in time. For you. That I promise.
Yep.
You deceived me! You can't take this one! Zuko's mine!
Sorry, Robin. But on this team, I call the shots.
But I've waited half my life!
Batman out.
Damn.
Oh no. He's not gonna ace me.
Let's see. Oh, we got a two-parter! Oh, and I'm actually really hyped for this one.
Not ever again.
My god. What a terrifying, like, road path, though. Jesus. There's no walls or barriers or anything. That's so precise. You know what? We'll let the outro play in the conclusion of this storyline. So we got our origin with Robin and how he and Bruce met. We don't have the full thing yet because we don't know exactly when the tights and the whole Crusaders Batman was introduced to the young lad. But makes a lot of sense now why he's in Bruce's care, you know, because the big question about Robin was what makes this guy different than everyone else in Bruce's life, that he would, you know, not only would he, you know, share the secret of being Batman, but why would he allow him to be under his wing as an official part of the team when Robin's available, you know? And we got that. We got that. Was he went through almost the exact same scenario as Bruce as a child, and I gotta say, that was peak. That scene of the tragic end of the Dick family was, I think, the peak of the show. I gotta admit, obviously censorship stuff and whatnot in these kind of shows. While I think Batman the Animated Series had a lot more freedom in its censorship than I think most shows would in its day, and even today, you know, the topic of death in children's shows is still a no-no. Sometimes it's allowed, sometimes it's not. But the show is allowed to get away with pretty much more than I've ever seen, I think, of a show with this kind of age demographic at this stage, you know, just at this time zone. And, you know, the show does pull a lot in its regard to death, where it just kind of, pulls stuff out of its arse a lot when it comes to how characters, you know, don't die. That was that dude that got, you know, that security guard that got thrown into the tiger's den and somehow didn't die because the tiger didn't attack until, you know, the guys tranquilized it. The same guy, I think, got attacked by the wolf in that one episode, very next one, I think, which was kind of funny after the tigress episode, and didn't die. So the show obviously cannot show too much death, but, and I don't think it's even shown Bruce's parents directly die. But this was like their one, I think, time where they truly did, they confirmed it. You know, there was no kind of out-in, they didn't fall on like a trampoline, Bruce didn't save them or anything. They didn't show the death itself, but the implications with the rope snapping, especially the music. I think the music is honestly worse than the breaking of the rope. I think that's what sold the scene completely. That was bone-chilling, and I think, again, that might be the darkest the series has ever gone at this point. I know that we've had a lot of stuff in the show with the villains and whatnot, but I think this was the darkest one, not only for just how bone-chilling the scene of seeing the rope snap, knowing what's about to happen and how inevitable and helpless it is to happen. When you finally see that snow rapid hits, it's the sense of helplessness in the situation, you know. Not only did Robin see the guy, did he see Tony Zuko, and know something was off at that point. He saw the rope snapping right as his mum jumped and couldn't do anything. And it's also the fact of how public the execution was, just how public the death happened. You know, not only did Dick see it with his own eyes, you know, he saw his parents fucking splat on his own eyes. There's the fact that everyone in the audience saw it, so it was a very public death, as well as Bruce and Batman himself. You know, this this execution happens, I think, honestly, this develops Bruce's character as much as Robin's, if not more, because this is the second time in Bruce's life where he's seen the exact same scenario play out, and even though at this point he is Batman and he can make a difference, he couldn't. Again, he became Batman and did this whole thing out of, turning his vengeance into motivation for protecting Gotham after what happened to his parents in Crime Alley. And this is the time where he took all that rage, became Batman, and still couldn't save someone, because Bruce Wayne was there. Batman had no idea of knowing what was going to happen, and Bruce had to witness that death with his own eyes, completely helpless in the crowd. So, this was motivation for both of them, Both children saw their parents die, and both kind of took that vengeance and made it into something different. Obviously, Bruce took it, I think, a lot worse because, obviously, obviously Robin took it, but Bruce took it in the completely wrong direction to where, he's already become Batman now. He's already channeled his own inner anger for his own parents' death into being Batman. And because he was Batman and still failed to save them, that's when there was nothing really to channel his anger into other than just pure bloodlust. There was no motive beyond, taking down Tony Zuko, because now he has no excuse for, not saving them anymore in his eyes, And this is, I think, the most serious we've seen Batman. Again, the previous time was the sewer episode where the kids and the guy was, making them, spread crimes all around Gotham. And this is the second time because this is another a case where it is personal. Both to Batman and Bruce Wayne as a person, this was an extremely personal situation. And it shows because Bruce has kept this vengeance in him for however long, 10 years, possibly more. Robin is in college at this point, so around a decade at least. And it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. We've seen the fact that Batman and Bruce know Tony's alias means that he's been tracking him all this time, and this is, coming down to it for him. And even Robin even said that the fact that Bruce has kept this from him means that this might even be the end of their relationship, because this is something that is so personal to Robin as a person that he can't forgive Bruce for keeping this from him. So both of them, both Batman and Robin, are on opposite sides right now, and both out of blood for the same motherfucker, and oh my god, this is gonna be peak! This is gonna be peak, I think. This is great. This is, I didn't think I'd like a story with Robin this much, but that origin just has so many multi-layers to it for both Bruce and Robin as people, even outside of their, their personas as people. This is great. This is great. This is big. This is good, and like I said, I cannot wait to actually see how this story concludes in this next episode. Oh yeah. So we got one of, if not the best scene of the show in this episode, and it's a two-parter. And again, I cannot wait to see where we go with this now, given that, Bruce, Robin kind of made more peace, I think, with what happened to his parents than Bruce did. But obviously that's also because he had a lot more on his plate being a child and developing into the person he was going to be, which includes Robin. And Bruce, already being Batman, had nothing really to adapt off of that. So we're going to see this, and I'm very excited to see it. Oh yes. So guys, this is probably the most hype two-parter in the show so far. I really struggle to think they could top this off. Again, we might pull some stuff in the future to try and top this, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this actually goes. So, let's continue on with episode 52. Oh, we might actually get a recap here. Yeah, we got a previously. We don't need that. Robin's Reckoning Part 2. Oh, I want an insane title card showing the fucking ropes and everything that ended it all. I honestly don't know how this is gonna go.
I told you to sit this one out, Robin.
And you really thought that would work?
You're a real piece of work, Batman. Okay, I'll find Zuko on my own, just like I did before.
Oh.
Ha ha! On guard.
Try using more control. You're wasting a lot of energy.
Oh yeah? Ha! Wah!
Ooh.
See? It's finesse, not strength.
Finesse, huh?
Hey! Okay,
Wow.
now you're gonna get it.
He has got some training from the circus act.
Whoa!
Too slow, huh?
Forgive the interruption, sir, but Lieutenant Gordon is here to see you. He asked to meet with you in private.
Why don't you hit the showers, Dick? It's almost time for dinner.
Yeah, sure.
Aw.
I dropped by to let you know you might not have to keep the boy much longer.
Oh?
We just started putting these up, and already we got a few bites. Zuko's been spotted on the Lower East Side. Off the record, we hear he's trying to skip town.
How soon?
It could be tonight. This Batman's got Zuko real spooked. Zuko's friends, too. Nobody will touch the guy.
And if Zuko gets away?
We could lose him for good.
And we can't have that, of course. Curious why he's back in Gotham, of course. Obviously just waiting for the heat to die out, but I mean, Batman's still around, you know, it's one thing that's never changing.
You sure you want to get off here?
Yeah. Hey, ever pick up this guy?
Can't say as I have. Who is he? Your old man or something?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
disgusting.
something.
Damn. Wow. Can't even answer a question, man.
Who you looking at, boy?
What a
No one.
what a coincidence. Oh no, maybe that wasn't him. What in the hell? Okay, yeah, it's the bat, whatever contraption that is.
Who do you think taught you how to grift, Chi-Chi? You don't go skimming money from me.
But I ain't, Lenny. Honest.
Oh, yeah? We'll just see about that.
No, wait. Lenny, look, I can explain.
That's a lot of dough, honestly. If those were all 50s in the 90s, Jesus.
This kid belonged to you?
Let go of me! I said leave her alone!
Ow! You little creep! When I get my hands on you...
Get away, kid. Jump!
Nice. Impressive jump as well. Like, dude, come on, this is not that deep. You are lucky!
Come on!
Oh, you are so lucky there was a chute there.
There's roaches in here! Roaches!
So when's the last time you ate, kid? Christmas?
There's always room for dessert.
I'm kind of in a rush.
Hey, you can't expect to find this uncle of yours at this hour. This is the only place around that's still open. All right, Bertie?
Mm-hmm. Hey, I know that deadbeat.
You do?
Yeah, he's been here. Always barking orders, never tipping. I seen him come from that building across the basin.
That place has been condemned for years, right?
Yeah, and may it fall on his head, the louse.
So either go there or just wait, just scout the diner until he appears. Either one really works.
Let go of me!
The circus boy, my little material witness. What are you doing here? Oh, what
Nice.
Are you?
Hey!
The shin attack
About to
never
leave town
fails.
because of you. Looks like I'm gonna have a change in travel plans.
Damn!
Only place you're going is up the river, you scum.
You creep! I hate you! I hate you!
Nice, and letting him get his shots in. Oh, for crud's sake. You have any idea how much luck Zuko just got there? His cape looks a little different actually now. It looks a lot darker. Because typically, his cape and cowl are like, very dark, yeah, very dark navy blue. This one just looks pure jet black. Yeah, there's no shine off of it at all. Maybe like an animation error or something?
Hang on.
Yeah, it's like the whole design that's a lot. I think that's just got the color change.
Let him go! You let him! Why? Why'd you do it? Why?
Because of you! You idiot!
Where are we going?
Home.
Man, oh man. Is this where you live?
This is where I work. You're the second person to see it.
Why'd you bring me here?
Nice.
Because I want to know just how badly you want Tony Zuko.
What do you mean? Who are you?
I take it, Master.
He looks so gentle without the cape. Oh yes.
You're out there somewhere, Zuko. But you can't
I
hide
love
from
it.
me. I've been taught by the best.
At most from Batman, you just get a neutral look, but when that mask came off, it was so warming and welcoming.
210 Trumbull Avenue. Mr. Tolan and several other men were reportedly sabotaging a midtown construction site at the time of his capture.
So what brought this guy back into Gotham?
Come on, Dolan. You gotta have his address somewhere.
Yeah, who is it? Hello? Hello? Who's there? Ah.
Gotcha.
Probably would have heard that.
You sure Batman didn't follow you?
Nah, and Dolan's no squealer. You got nothing to worry about.
Don't tell me what I've got to worry about. I'm not backing down. 5 minutes, and he's on my tail. You don't know the Bat. He don't let up. He's a dark angel of death, man, and he wants me.
A dark angel's a good way to describe him, honestly.
Why you, boss?
How should I know? What's that?
What's what?
Shh. Listen.
Probably just rats.
Sounds like rats.
Yeah, rats.
I mean, to be fair, that's not really an overreaction of rats. That seems perfectly reasonable to me.
Boss, calm down, okay? You're starting to worry us.
Oh my god. Oh!
Oh, what's the matter?
Oh, that was
Bats?
quick, but that was
Twist your knee?
painful.
Looks like you could use a little protection about now. And protection is my racket.
You wasted your whole cartridge, didn't you?
9 years, creep. 9 years of looking over my shoulder. No more. I'm sending you straight to a bat box. No!
Your luck run out on that very day when you got away. Wow. Bro's fucking limping and still got out of there.
What are you deadbeats standing around here for? Get out there! Now!
Where'd he go?
Not far. You saw how he was limping. Spread out!
Nice. It's just my leg, bro. My fists are fine. That's a ballsy move, alright.
him!
Bro honestly can barely move and is still... Wow.
Round and round we go, eh, Bats?
Ride's over.
No, boss! Don't! Wait! You can't! You'll hit us!
That's a fair
Sorry,
point, really.
boys. You pays your money and you takes your chances.
Come on. Hit him with that. Oh, if you landed on him with the bike, that would have been so peak. Yep.
I don't believe this.
You're through, Zuko. Forever.
Jesus.
That's so, Birdie boy.
That voice.
I've waited a long time.
Robin doesn't have much of a, like, persona voice like Bruce does, and this is like his first kind of time. He's really upping it in the voice direction.
Keep away from me.
What? Whatever.
No. Don't.
Dude, in this show, that's not even that big a drop.
Enough. You can't let your emotions get the best of you.
Can you please speak with your mouth moving?
Stuff your advice, Batman. You and your stone-cold heart. You don't know how I feel. How could you?
We went through the same stuff, bro.
Batman, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was like the most insensitive, but also just stupid thing to say at that point. Like, literally made you rob him because you went through the same shit. Nine years in the making, but they finally got the guy.
You were right, you know. Not bringing me along. You knew I'd take it too personally.
It wasn't that, Robin. It wasn't that at all. Zuko's taken so much. Caused you so much pain. I couldn't stand the thought that he might take you, too.
Damn. As unfortunate as it is,
Come on, partner.
it's one of the only things Batman even has is Robin. Cool. And justice is finally served. Is that enough for that much pain? Probably not, but, you know. I mean, to be honest, with how often people break out of this fucking city's prison walls, you might as well have just offed the guy. But obviously, heroes gotta be heroes. Can't be going that hard on the scene. As much as it's always fun, as much as I would personally love to see a couple of the good guys just go off the deep end with some of these bastards, it's like, you know, can't really do it. So we finally got our scene of Bruce introducing himself as Batman to Robin, which was cool. The reveal finally happened. Very nice to see. And yeah, we finally got it. You know, obviously, it's always a treat to see when the heroes that try to be righteous and always try to, you know, do their work from an unbiased perspective and leave the justice system to the proper authorities. It's always fun when there's a more personal matter involved, and when, you know, when they almost pushed those morals that they built themselves on out the window to get rid of, truly sickened people. And Tony Bruce was one of those people that truly did test the limits of how far some of these morals go for these characters. And Bruce and Robin had personal stakes in this one, which was really fun to see. Bruce, obviously, because of the stuff I said before, how he failed as as Bruce Wayne and Batman that day, and because of how much pain it's put the person he kind of sees as a an apprentice / son figure to him in in this scene. Because Bruce does this kind of stuff so that people never go through the same things that he went through as a kid, and then directly, took in someone that went through almost neck and neck the exact same thing he went through as a kid, so it makes perfect sense. But it also showed, I think, which was fun, from Alfred, that in certain cases, Batman is just as or Bruce is just as important as Batman in some situations. It wouldn't have been enough for Robin if, back all those years ago, if Bruce captured Tony as Batman, because that still would have left Robin without much of a life to really live on with. He would have had his justice, but he couldn't really move on from that point. And it was really the point to where Bruce Wayne is what Robin needed to finally, get control of his life back in order again. And that was really fun. It was really fun to see that, because again, obviously the Batman portion outshadows the Bruce Wayne moments in the show by a mile. But it's always fun to see when Bruce is kind of the answer to the problems outside of Batman, because it kind of shows, not just there needs to be balance between, the two lives that they live, but in some situations, it's just right to be yourself over being the hero that you usually are. So it was really fun to see. And of course, Robin in this one kind of had to make the ultimate choice there. The temptation was truly there. This guy's been on his mind for many, many years, and though he can still move on and be happy, it's still a point in his life that was never really resolved. And here, he finally had his resolution. He finally had his, his vengeance, in a way. He let go of the hate at the very end and truly, got his closure through Tony finally being caught, which is really fun to see. And it's even a bit of the question of what is actually worse. Is it the idea that he finally got caught and is jailed? Or is it the paranoia he went through for all those years when he was a free man? What is the worst scenario there? Absolutely, it's the paranoia, because that is a mental block you can never get rid of. Whereas in jail, you might be trapped in jail, but at least the thought of Batman is finally, off your mind. So depends there. And it's also it's the same situation as that guy that the Riddler got to in his very first debut. How that guy is just never safe from wondering if Riddler's gonna get him or not every single night. It's always fun. The mental versus physical kind of repercussions of actions is fun to see. But that was great. That was really really fun. That was some of the best storytelling that Batman the Animated Series has done. Like I said, that scene of the rope was so impactful. One of the most impactful scenes we've ever had in the series thus far. And I had a lot of fun. This was definitely a worthy and really, really fun story in this show. And I loved it. This was some peak stuff for Batman. And definitely the best two-parter we've had so far. Most of them have been really good to see, but this one I think is at the top for very obvious reasons. But yes, so. Let's do episode 53. Why don't we? Hopefully I can get through this whole episode before I have to make my cut. But we might get it a little close, but that's fine. Even if I have to do the outro on a separate cut. We should still have enough time to do the last two episodes in this set. Alright. So, episode 53 of Batman the Animated Series. Let's go. Blind as a bat. Of course. I think that's a phrase that hasn't even come up in this show yet, which is rather surprising. But it's one that had to happen at some point.
3 features make Wayne Tech's new Raven X-111 stealth helicopter unique among military aircraft. The first is her silent running capability. Raven ideal for reconnaissance and covert operations.
That's pretty cool.
Another is her state-of-the-art cloaking device.
It's so funny how
invisible to all normal forms of radar and sonar.
it's so funny how all this shit they come out with in Bruce Wayne Enterprises is stuff he's had for years as Batman. It's like he's slowly but surely integrating his own tech into like the military force and whatnot to keep his funds going, and it's honestly just hilarious. How did he get all of this stuff from, you know, as Batman, when so much of it is ahead of his own company is hilarious. Bro's got like a separate team just under the Batcave developing all this stuff. I don't think we've seen a direct cloak in
Last, but certainly
tech
not least,
for his stuff. It's not shield level tech, but it's still cool.
ZVF, as
High
I'm sure you've
high
heard,
class.
stands for Zero Visibility Flight. With this new technology, feedback from the aircraft's radar and sonar is translated not into blips on a tracking grid, but rather into computer-generated images on a video display terminal. But should you think the Raven X-111 has only defensive capabilities, think again.
Well, that'd be no fun. Damn, even taking out tanks easily.
Wouldn't you say, Mr. Wayne?
I guess, Doctor. Though I still have serious misgivings about building weapon systems.
But it can be hacked. Which I assume is what happened just there.
What are they trying to do?
Hey, what's that? Looks like the helicopter crew. But if you guys are here, then who's flying the chopper?
Look at them taking off like scared pigeons.
No one that we recognize, I don't think.
Funny, my friend.
No, boss, not me.
Good.
Oh!
Well to remember that.
Penguin. Oh, of course, yeah,
Attention,
Nice.
attention. This is the Penguin speaking. I have taken control of your precious Raven and intend to be paid handsomely for its return. I will contact the mayor's office with the instructions for delivery of the ransom.
You're gonna waste all your fire, man. You're not even hitting anyone. Jesus, that was close.
As of this moment, the most dangerous bird in the sky is the penguin.
Master Bruce!
The irony.
Home, Alfred. Now.
But sir, you need medical attention.
No! I don't want the Wayne Tech doctors examining me.
Interesting. Why do you not want them
Call
examining
Leslie.
you?
Have her meet us at the house.
Begging your pardon, sir, but why so secretive?
Because I don't want anyone to find out that I can't see.
Oh crap, that blinded him.
It's too soon to know for sure, Bruce.
Blind
It
as a
looks
bat.
like it's only temporary. It might last 2, maybe 3 days at the most.
Also, nice to see Leslie
Assuming,
again.
Of course, you actually
That's
follow
so
my
long
instructions for a change.
since she's been around.
What happened?
It looks like the explosion flash burned both retinas. It'll heal better if you keep your eyes completely covered for at least 36 hours. Otherwise, you could damage your vision permanently.
Yeah.
So keep him home, Alfred, even if you have to hog tie him.
That is my
He needs to
most
rest,
valued
which means the
sense.
Batman is off duty too.
Sensory for sure.
No way, Leslie.
I'd rather lose my
Not as
ears,
long
my
as the
sense of
Penguin has
touch,
that
smell,
chopper.
taste, anything before my vision.
Master Bruce,
And my
I
vision is
urge you to
terrible.
resolve it straight away.
Ah,
Leave a
shit.
call on your private line.
Then let's go.
We ain't seen the bat signal in a long time.
If you think a little inconvenience like this is gonna stop me.
Yeah. Looks like you got a channel, you're in a Daredevil, if you want to get this episode through. Wonder how much that light cost.
You didn't respond?
No, Mr. Mayor. But I'm sure there's a reason.
Who cares? What's Mr. Trick or Treat gonna do that we can't? I got 12
Like
details
everything?
rolling over every airfield and heliport in 4 counties.
Quite a machine, this Raven. Amazing what its communications equipment can do, don't you agree? You received my instructions?
They arrived by messenger this morning. You know, 100 million is a lot of money.
Sure.
It'll take time to raise that much.
You're stalling, Hill. Obviously, you're not taking me seriously. I warned you not to make that mistake. Apparently, I'll have to show you why.
That's a little less than half than you paid for Batman's identity.
Oh, you should have seen his face when I told him, yeah.
What the heck?
Sorry, less than half, a little less than double.
I don't know.
I know he didn't pay it on his own, but
He's
still.
not making a sound.
You gotta think they gotta run out of firepower at some point.
Jam it, get us out of here.
You sure this is a good idea, boss?
Do as you're told.
Probably not the best idea to shock the pilot. Holy crap! Jesus! Whoa! The whole bridge.
As a warning of what he'll do tomorrow night, amazingly all those on the collapsing bridge escaped with only minor injuries.
How convenient. Also, we don't want Bruce to have too much guilt about this.
I've got to find some way to stop him. Sight or no sight.
That would be a pretty big flex, honestly. You did last one limping and this one without fucking vision.
Connect this gizmo directly to your brain's optic center?
Objection noted. May I have the headpiece, please?
It's not really bat-themed, though, is it?
Those ZVF components I gave you, you wired them into this thing?
I know how to follow instructions.
So a medic and an engineer. Very nice.
Just be careful with that power pack. You have to keep recharging it.
Nowhere to really hide it, though.
Will it work, sir?
Wow, you really are like Daredevil.
Only one way to find out.
That cable line's gonna get in the way, though, honestly.
Well done, sir.
I like how she just is not happy about this at all.
Its head. It isn't perfect, but it will have to do.
Oh, that looks oh, I wish she.
Only pray that the same technology that created this crisis can help me.
I wish she'd keep the red eyes permanently, honestly. That is so badass. Oh my god, the red eyes are beautiful.
Just what I was afraid of. According to the controller's office, we can't come close to putting that ransom together. Not without shutting down basic municipal services.
So what other options we got?
None, gentlemen. Which is why you're going to do exactly what the Penguin wants you to. We interrupt our regular programming for this special report.
This is Mayor Hamilton Hill with a personal message for the Penguin, wherever you may be tonight. You've won. Just bring the Raven X-111 to the drop site at midnight, and I promise you'll get everything that's coming to you.
You
Wow,
see?
how
I
ominous.
told you they'd knuckle under.
But boss, it sounds too easy.
Relax. With the Raven's instruments, we'll be able to spot a trap a mile away.
That is quite the
literally.
nose.
And if in fact this is a double cross, may heaven help
them all.
And you know he's not going to pay for that damage. So rude.
Scanners show the area is secure, boss.
In that case, gentlemen, it's payday.
Yeah. And obviously he's not giving the goddamn thing back. Like 100 mil would fit in that.
Huh? What? What?
Gotcha. Okay, Joker.
Gotcha.
That plane of his must have a cloaking device, too.
This means war!
Obviously. Right, bro, I'm the one who developed that thing. So thoroughly I could even beat it blindfolded. That's GG. Oh, crap.
Red alert. Red alert. Traumatic impact. Heat damage to fuselage. Breach to hull. Extensive structural damage.
Tell me something I don't know.
Okay, you designed it.
65 seconds.
So the blindness really hasn't really been a problem just yet. At least in terms of flight, he's been fine.
Look! The bat's going down!
Yeah, when it's connected to the ship.
Warning. Warning. Electrical system failure. Switching to auxiliary power.
God, you don't want to crash in a power plant.
Happy landing, rodent!
Wow. Of course the cable broke instead of just being pulled out the cord.
Look! There!
Well, crap.
Terrific.
Oh no, my pointy-eared old friend. You don't escape me that easily.
Look at the way he's moving. There's something wrong with him.
Why, yes. I think he's injured.
Oh, this could be very bad. One wrong move and... yeah, one step in the wrong direction, one trip, and it's all over for the Batman. That's what I'm saying. God, again with the ankle. The amount of times the bullets just fucking deplete. What? What? Huh? What?
What's the matter, Bat?
That should still be beyond sizzling. And now it's just you and the Penguin. He looks almost silly, really. He might do himself in at this rate if he can't see. Honestly, not even fun at this point.
Your aim appears to be a little off today, Batman. I don't think you can hit the broadside of a barn, let alone the broadside of this bird. You're blind as a bat, sightless and helpless.
Finally said it, huh?
Got one right.
Crap. This could be Penguin's final episode, honestly. We have shit like molten lava.
Where do you think you're going? You've hit a dead end, rodent.
Honestly, I'd let him go rather than walk on that.
You're only prolonging the inevitable.
Nice.
Not possible. You're supposed to be helpless. Helpless.
Blind, but not helpless. You got one right.
I feel a lot better about this if you'd listen to me.
Master Bruce?
Nice.
Well?
My word, sir. Surely you're not...
No, Alfred, I can see just fine. And right now, I've never seen anything prettier.
Probably his worst mission ever, to be honest, and hopefully his last ever one being blind, because that is definitely not a fun experience. Not that I've ever been blind, thankfully. But yeah, definitely not fun. It's nice to finally have some repercussions of certain actions, you know, especially when I mean, yeah, being right in point-blank range of an explosion, not the best thing, but let's not kid ourselves and pretend like Bruce hasn't been in, like, point-blank of explosions a billion times before and has not had any damage to his retinas, so we just needed a bit of a plot point here for this episode. But, hey, that's pretty cool. Again, I went through it at the beginning, but I kind of feel like Bruce is slowly but surely kind of rolling out his technology, you know, his bat technology into his company in order to keep funds going. Since, you know, he's had, like, this insane stuff. I don't know how he's doing it. I really don't know. You know, he has a whole company behind him, yet his secret persona seems to have, like, all this advanced military-grade, like, tech that even the military, again, doesn't have yet. So I don't know if it's a case of he's doing it. I don't want to say that Bruce is quite that smart. But obviously it's like a two-man gig, the whole Batman thing, you know, with Robin occasionally coming in here and there, so, I don't know. It does seem like something that Bruce is obviously doing, though, and obviously military funding, you know, for weapons, there is a lot of profit to be had in that, especially in the US, that's like all they spend their budget on. So, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense he'd go into that kind of thing if it keeps, you know, his funding going and keeps allowing him to be Batman, even though the obvious implications are terrifying. And of course, because, again, villains like the Penguin can actually hijack stuff. So I was a little surprised to see that the actual, you know, the chopper itself kind of was out of the equation by the halfway point of the episode, and then the rest of it is just kind of Batman fumbling and bumbling two villains that he would otherwise have next to no problem with, because the Penguin is not that threatening of a villain at all. You know, his thing comes from, like, you know, the money he has and the goons he has and whatnot, since he's more of like a crime boss persona. But take that away from him and he pretty much has nothing, which I think is why the show hasn't done too many episodes at this point revolving around the Penguin as a solo act. You know, he definitely feels like he's probably a more effective villain if you bring him in with other villains, because then he can supply funding and whatnot, you know? You know, Joker's a lot more of a hands-on approach. He kind of does his own thing, makes his own, you know, themed weapons and whatnot. And it's in some way a little, you know, capable of fighting and whatnot. And obviously he has Harley and whatnot. But the Penguin doesn't really have that level of creativity. He feels more like a realistic, kind of down-to-earth, just, you know, crime boss in a way. As opposed to people like Penguin, like Joker, like Two-Face and all those kind of potatoes. So he's a fine enough villain, but he's not one of my favorites. You know, he's fine, but again, I kind of get why he is very sporadic throughout the series. He's kind of more like a villain I feel like would do better as a movie antagonist, where there's just more time to flesh out an overall story, as opposed to a 22-minute episode, right? And I'm pretty sure there are at least a couple of movies that center around the villain being the main villain, because while I haven't watched any Batman movies in their entirety, I have seen the off-scene here and there, you know, throughout the year, so I do know that Penguin appears in a few of the live-action ones. Again, no specifics really, I don't know which ones they are, but I feel like he'd do better in that kind of environment than, again, a 22-minute kind of episode, so, you know, maybe you guys agree, maybe you prefer him as the, as, you know, a kind of day-of-the-week, villain of the week-esque trope, but I feel like that's probably where his talents, you know, would probably better shine. But yeah. So guys, that's going to do it for this recording, and I'll be back in a moment when we do the final two episodes in this set, 54 and 55. I'll see you in a moment. Alright guys, we're back, so let's do episode 54. I am the Knight. Okay. Damn.
Master Bruce? Are you all right, sir?
Yeah.
I'm tired, Alfred.
He looks pretty depressed here.
You've taken no meals today. I can't recall when you last slept.
A weary body can be dealt with, but a weary spirit, that's something else. Sometimes, old friend, I wonder if I'm really doing any good out there.
Damn.
How can you doubt it? The lives you've saved, the criminals you've brought to justice.
I've put out a few fires, yes. Won a few battles. But the war goes on, Alfred.
Oh, so we're going into that eternal question of, do you take them out, or do you put them to justice? The official justice, at least, not the true justice I'm sure a lot of people would want. So now we're going to see how Batman's resolve is fading. Oh, I like this premise quite a bit, actually. Because, yeah, no matter what you do, they always either escape, or get let out at some point and go back to, you know, doing their thing. And everything else. It's like, criminals keep building up over time, and he can't stop anything.
You're looking at the new vice president of... Excuse me, folks. Spare some change? Trying to get bus fare home. Sure.
Thank you.
Works every time.
Shame nowadays you can't even use cash for, like, using the bus or anything. It's all just cards and whatnot.
I say we take him now, before the deal happens. We got enough on him. What are we waiting for?
Batman. He got us the dirt on the jazz man. Said he'd be here when the hammer went down.
Kind of incompetent. What the hell? What? Since when did they start selling merch of the Dark Knight? That's cute.
Batman.
But what the hell? Is that legal? Can you do that without Batman's approval? I guess that's kind of what Joker tried to do with the fish gig, but what the hell?
You seem quieter than usual tonight.
Every year I come here, I wonder if it should be the last time. If I should put the past behind me. Try to lead a normal life.
Santayana says that those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it.
He also said a fanatic is someone who redoubles his efforts while losing sight of his goal.
Interesting. So has it been a year since episode 5 then? Because that was the Crime Alley episode.
Wizard, you never call. You never write.
You never pay us our piece of kale for letting you work that corner.
Willie, Monk. Yeah, I was just looking for you guys.
Let's skip the pleasantries. What do you say? $50 now.
It's that, or I cut out your liver and fry it in a pan.
I haven't exactly
That's
got
a
it right now.
bit extreme for $50. What the hell?
Of trouble.
Oh no. That seems a little petty for 50.
Willie? Willie?
You're mine. Later.
Wow. Yeah. Did you really think you were getting out of that?
Hey, Bats, don't worry about me. I don't need help from some jerk in long underwear.
Oof. Oof.
Think there's room in the Mitchell Street mission for one more?
Of course.
Yeah, that really got to him. Don't disrespect his parents' flowers.
Commissioner, it's gotta be now.
Hit it.
This is the police. You men in the warehouse, you're under arrest.
Just one time, it'd be nice if that line did work, huh? Just one day without the resistance force.
Aren't you going home? It's almost 3 a.m.
Promises to keep, Leslie. I have promises to keep.
I'm really liking this, this premise though. Like, honestly, he's just getting tired of the gig now.
This was a setup. The jazz man was ready for us.
The jazz man? Really?
To play taps for Gordon.
Nice, just gas him out. And that's that, I guess.
We couldn't get close enough to use tear gas.
Whew. But the Batman could.
Looks like the fat lady just sung, Jimmy. Hey, where's the commish? He should see this. Commissioner? Oh my God.
Oh! Oh! Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck me. I thought we were actually going to do a thing of, I thought he was going to do the reverse on Batman where he's behind Tim and he didn't even see it. But no, that's much worse. Oh, crap.
Warm up or
And this is just going to push Batman's resolve even further down the drain. I don't think we'd lose Commissioner Gordon yet. Yeah, it's possible, but I don't think it happened just yet. That would be insane, though,
smuggling ring of Jimmy the Jazzman
if it did happen.
But the victory in the drug war came at a high cost. Police Commissioner James Gordon was badly wounded in the line of duty. Ballistics investigation has matched the bullet with the Jazzman's gun. Any comments, Jazzman?
Let's just say it was time to pay the piper.
Fair enough.
Sources say that the Jazzman has long nursed a grudge against Commissioner Gordon. The commissioner remains in intensive care at Gotham City Hospital.
I don't know if you can hear me, Jim.
Damn.
I'm sorry. If I hadn't stopped in Crime Alley.
Batman.
How is he?
Not good.
Is this,
It's my fault.
Is this Barbara?
Should have gotten there first. Checked it out before.
Don't blame yourself.
I think it is,
You
yeah.
caught the man who shot him.
Right.
If I'd been there.
You should have been there, pointy ears.
Not too many redheads in this
Pete might have
show.
shot the right guy. Thought you were supposed to know what's shaking on the streets. How come you didn't tell us this was a setup?
Didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah? In my book, that makes you just as responsible for him being here as the jazz man.
Wow,
Harvey,
what the
please, it
fuck?
wasn't his fault.
Yeah, no one knew. Like, come on. I get he's mad because he cares about Gordon, but what the fuck, man?
This ain't over yet, outlaw! You hear me? You're going down for this! I ain't talking law! I'm talking you and me!
Well, you could try, and I really hope you do, but... no, that ain't happening. This is so cool, though. I'm really liking this. But I feel like this is a question that almost all the heroes eventually go through. Is like, is it worth it anymore? Spidey, I mean, that's basically his main storyline these days, is giving up. And now Batman's really reaching that same level of just like, why am I even bothering? It never changes. Good lord.
James Peake, you are hereby remanded to the custody of the state, pending trial. As there is no room currently in the Gotham City Jail, you will be taken to Stonegate Penitentiary to await a trial date.
Stonegate. That's like the big boy prison, isn't it? Where you got like Joker, Ivy, and... well, maybe not.
The trial. They got enough on me to play the funeral march.
Not a problem, bro. Talk to Southside Eddie. He'll get you on the street and out of Gotham before the ink on your fingers dries.
Not out of Gotham. Not yet. First, I make sure Gordon's got a one-way ticket to Harpland.
Not now, Jimmy. You gotta lay low.
Gordon busted me 6 years ago. Would have been the best score of my life. I owe him big time.
That poor guy arguably has more enemies than Batman, really. Even Joker's wanted him a couple of times. And that's big. That's big stuff.
I'm so glad you could come, Master Dick. It's been 3 days. I've never seen him like this before.
Hey, nice to see Robin.
Bruce?
Jesus, he just looks so... oh, it's just so
Bruce,
down. It's just so...
stay down here much longer,
it's
you'll
just
be growing
not...
mushrooms in your
so
armpits.
not Batman.
I should have been there.
You can't be everywhere.
I let him down.
You're being too hard on yourself.
He's a friend. More than a friend.
Aww.
Jim Gordon's the same age my father would have been if he hadn't.
Ooh.
Now he's hanging by a thread. If I'd gotten here 5 minutes sooner...
Yeah, it definitely hurts. It's the same day as the anniversary of his parents going.
Laundry coming through, boss.
I chose this life. I used the night. I became the night. Sooner or later, I'll go down. It might be the Joker, or Two-Face, or just some punk who gets lucky. My decision. No regrets. But I can't let anyone else pay for my mistakes.
And that even holds up, because that almost happened very recently.
He knows the risks.
How long before I let someone else I care about down? Leslie, Alfred, you.
Selena. I think that's the entire list.
Now.
When all is said and done, how much
So
good have I
easy.
accomplished? They sell t-shirts of me. I've become a cliche. More good for the tourist trade than the streets.
This city would fall apart without you.
Maybe. Maybe not. When you look too long into the abyss looks back through you. Maybe it's time for Batman to return to the night that's gone, before anyone else gets hurt.
Oh. Oh, this is great. This is beautiful. And again, you give it a few weeks, I'd love to see... we went over this in, If Batman Died, but I'd love to see Gotham Streets a couple of weeks or months without Batman, and how everyone would react. Villains and,
Pete's a madman, Dick. He'll try to
allies
finish what he
included,
started.
like,
I feel so
Catwoman.
helpless. I can't just sit here. I've got to do something to...
I know how you feel, more than you might think. But your place is here. There's only one person who can find the Jazz Man now.
You're talking about Batman.
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure this is Barbara, right? Be kind of bad if I was wrong about that the whole time, just calling it Barbara.
Stonegate. He's gone to ground somewhere in Gotham. You know he'll find a way to get to Gordon. Okay, then I'm going after him. You taught me everything I know about crime fighting, Bruce, but the most important lesson was to never give up.
Fair?
No, Dick. This is my hunt.
Nice! Even if it's just for a little while or one night. You spark that flame back in him. And hey, the music is finally back.
Attention all cars. Suspect sighted near corner of Adams and O'Neill.
This is Bullock. I'm on him.
Roger, detective. Use caution.
Oof.
I've got to get some coffee, Dad. I'll be right back.
Dad? Was Barbara his niece or his daughter? Ugh! I hate how I don't remember. I might actually have to look that up after this episode. I don't want to stay wrong about something like that. Yeah, what do you do here, Bullock? It's kind of both men you want, like, in imminent danger right now. But you do owe a couple of lives to Batman, to be fair. Damn. And of course a gun fell. I'll say again, if that happened, it would be crazy. And this is like the one time in the entire show someone's had a genuine, like, reaction time.
Barbara?
Dad!
It was Barbara,
You're
okay.
all right.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was niece, but...
Went down okay?
It's daughter.
Yes. Get some rest now.
Gotta keep fighting. Never stop. What I try to live by. Maybe if I'd been younger, could have been like you. Always wanted to be a hero.
It's something.
You are a hero, Jim.
There might be a what-if story if DC do many of those. I called him Jim. Nice. And this guy again. Oh, that was
Up to your
creepy.
old tricks, I see. How about returning that suitcase to its owner?
Hey man, I am the owner. You know, I was kind of hoping I'd run into you. I've been in those places like where you left me before. Heard the rap, wasn't impressed. But this time it made sense. Maybe I was ready to hear it. So I'm heading back home. I guess I kind of owe it to you, Batman. You probably saved my life. I bet you hear this all the time. Look, I'm gonna miss my
Oh, his
bus.
finger
I'll
was
see you
horribly
around.
miscolored
And
a minute ago. I thought it was he had like it was wrapped up or something. That was incredible. That was another, I think, high episode. There have been some bangers in this set, honestly. There have been some really good episodes. Obviously, the two-parter Robin, you know, Blind as a Bat was okay. I wouldn't call it, like, a top-tier episode of the series. This one, though, I would honestly call a top-tier. I think maybe even top 10. I think it was that good. But yeah, we go into, again, a pretty classic mindset, I feel like, again, that a majority of heroes have at some point. Is the question of, is it worth it in the long run? You know, because, again, new people and criminals pop up every single night and day. You know, old and new come together sometimes, you know, with the villain team-ups and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And we see that even someone who has spent however many years, you know, as long as Bruce has, the doubt does start to seep in after a while. The doubt and the questioning of if this is even worth it anymore starts to seep in, because, you know, I feel like regardless of the kind of person you are, the kind of life that you lead, eventually, I feel like everyone eventually will have that kind of mental dip in their motivation, in their factors of life, and eventually the doubt will seep in, and the questions, you know, of who you are and what you're doing will have to happen at some point again. As bad as it is, I feel like that's something that just, no matter who you are, what you do, or what you have done, that's something that everyone will go through at some point, and it's, you know, really appropriate to take the right steps and the right mindset to try and get out of that buff, you know, like Bruce had here. The only kind of thing I kind of wish we questioned more of was the, you know, the idea of offing the villains, right? Because that's kind of the only, from an objective standpoint, that's really the only kind of way you truly do make a big difference, you know, like, you can save people, you can save lives and whatnot, and, you know, that is obviously life-changing, that is definitely worth it, but the problem is that the villains will always come back. You know, and there's also the question of, you know, if they're after specific individuals, well, what do you do then? You can't protect them. You can't spend your whole time protecting them forever. You know, and it becomes a point of, do you just end this? You know, like, how safe would Gotham be at this point if Batman had killed off Two-Face, Joker, Penguin, and Riddler in the various situations he's actually taken them in? You know, like, how safe would it be if he never had to, if the mental burden of those particular individuals among the dangers he's ever fought would be gone, and there was no guarantee of them ever coming back? Would that be, you know, different? Would that help Gotham? I think it would. You know, and obviously Batman is a symbol that keeps people safe, and also a symbol that is, you know, that keeps fear into the villains and criminals. And I get it might send the wrong message to the civilians if he does start killing, but it would inspire more fear into those who, you know, lead to commit crime, and depending on the severity of the crimes, it would be an effective strategy. You know, I'm probably someone who shouldn't have powers, because I would probably be on the more at the side of, you know, just killing them off and getting the job done. That's probably where I would stand, and obviously a lot of people would disagree on that. But it is true, especially in a world as wacky as, you know, a superhero universe, where villains pretty much get out all the time, where jailbreaks happen all the time, in a place where, like Batman, villains break out of Arkham all the time. How many times has Joker, Scarecrow, Ivy, you know, broken out? They're probably the most prevalent at this point, and it's fucking insane how many times that's happened, you know, and how much damage and destruction it's gone through. But it was really nice to see, you know, the doubt, because it's made clear that Bruce has gone through, like, all the mental barriers and all the mental defenses he has done to become Batman, you know, and just to see the doubt finally start slipping in after a while, especially on days like, you know, his parents' tragic death, which is where the story initially began for the character, and then you have someone that he truly comes to respect and cherish, you know, Gordon, who he very specifically said it was even more than a friend to him, you know, gets injured, especially on a day like that where it's already a bit of a burden. that's when, you know, the depression really starts to hit in, you know. And again, it really humanizes the character. How, again, like I said, no matter what kind of precautions you take, I feel like, again, those kind of doubts will always sip into a person. I feel like that's honestly just a part of life and just a part of being human. You know, it humanizes Batman and Bruce a little bit more. You know, it doesn't show them as completely indestructible, which I don't think the show's ever tried to do, but it does help just show, you know, and represent that a little bit more. How, again, heroes are humans too, for the most part. There are some heroes that aren't human, but we're all sentient at the end of the day, and, you know, those doubts will always slip in. And it was really nice to see how that happened to Bruce, but also goes to show that he does have a support system, you know, in Alfred, in Robin. You know, again, she's not around very much in the show, but even Selina, you know, would probably be around to do that. And honestly, as messed up as the relationship is, even Joker I would put to that high regard, because I honestly feel like Joker would put his effort in to snap Batman out of that funk. If he ever got into that, in maybe his own wacky, silly Joker way of threatening people, perhaps. But I honestly feel like you could, in some sickening way, count Joker as part of that support system to kind of keep the motivation of Bruce going to continue being Batman. Because, again, Joker respects Batman. He respects him a little too much, honestly. He values the game that he and Bruce play at more than he does even the crime fighting, or the crimes that he commits. And we even saw that in his previous episode, where he gave all the jewelry back that he stole, because without Batman, there's no punchline, you know? We've gone into the silliness of the Joker and Batman's relationship before that I really do love and enjoy seeing, so, you know, that's kind of what I'm getting at there. But this was great. I really did enjoy this episode. It was really fun. That could have been the ending of the set, honestly. That was a really fun one. And a really deep one as well. So, let's see what they actually use for the final episode, why don't we? Because I am curious. I am very, very curious. One episode to go. With episode 55. What do they do in this one? Let's begin it in 3, 2, 1, and play. Okay, the mechanic. Interesting. Something to do with the Batmobile. Oh no, not the Penguin again. Like that flimsy little piece of shit could keep up with the Batmobile.
Is he kidding?
We're getting a lot of Robin lately.
Maybe he's new in town.
Can't you go any faster?
Oh, it wasn't the
I'm
Penguin.
flooring it now.
Nice. Be kind of embarrassing if newbies got away from Batman on the first game. Your efforts are slipping again, Mr. Bruce.
Hold on, guys!
Wow. Oh! I'll give you that was bloody ballsy. It's arguable if you even would have survived that, but sure. Crap. Well, some maintenance work. Okay, it was Penguin right there. Some maintenance work will need to be done.
Looks like Earl's got his work cut out for him.
Earl? I'm impressed it still runs, honestly.
What happened?
Honestly.
You been letting the kid drive again?
Ha ha.
Again?
You're playing chicken with a penguin.
Looks like the penguin won.
The penguin?
Or 3 of his men at least. But they flew the coop.
Then I guess you'll be
Hey,
meeting
nice.
the loners again.
Yeah, it's been a while since we saw that. Okay. This is cool. We're seeing some more of the offhand connections he has.
Suspension all shot to heck.
Oh, I'll call you in a couple of days.
Better make it a week.
That's
Looks
gonna be
like
quite
we're gonna
expensive.
Have to order a whole new drivetrain.
Nice.
Come on, Robin.
How many more connections does Batman have? Off the grid, of course.
Guess we won't be seeing sunlight for a while, huh, Dad?
Once we've got the parts, it ought to go quickly. Better put in the order right now, though. Let's see. 12-gauge piston pins.
These are terrible. Terrible.
Come on, boss. Give me a break. We got you the stamps. What more do you want?
Wow, that's
I wanted the rare ones, right?
very daring
The
of you.
reversed Autobahns. These aren't worth enough to pay for the repairs to the limousine. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't have Percival here peck out your eyes.
Because he can escape Batman, and that's pretty rare.
Well, I'm waiting.
Here's a reason, boss. If we'd never banged up the limo, I'd never have run into my old friend here. The one I told you about. Remember?
You're the Penguin.
Ah, yes, the one who works for that auto parts distributor.
Mm-hmm. That's me. Rundle. Arnold Rundle. I process custom orders.
Go on, Arnie. Show him.
Right. This is an order my company received yesterday.
Crap.
Titanium steel wheel wells, 12-gauge piston pins.
Very few vehicles use such unusual material as those.
And the point of this is what?
I think these parts were ordered for the Batmobile.
That's pretty rare. Pretty worth a head or two.
Tell him why, Arnie.
Get a...
Well, right after I got that order, Falcone told me about what happened to the Batmobile while it was chasing your limo the other day. From the description, I'd say the kind of damage the Batmobile would have sustained might require the kind of replacement parts in that order.
Yes, yes, I understand.
You do?
Why, yes, and it's absolutely brilliant.
Be pretty epic to have a vehicle on the level of the Batmobile.
Reward?
Would $300,000 be enough?
Oh!
Oh, all right, $400,000, but that's my final offer.
God damn. Let's go.
Don't spend it all in one place.
And a luxury ticket out of here.
I don't get it, boss. It's all right here. Our friend Mr. Rundle amassed newspaper reports of various instances when the Batmobile was damaged. Then he checked the dates against the other times his company got orders for these types of
Oh my god.
In every case, it was a match. The same exact date.
Excuse me? Where will this take me?
On a sea cruise. Here, look at these bills of lading.
I doubt you'll die. You are kind of valuable. With that level of detail.
All the orders come from the same repair shop, run by a certain Mr. Cooper. Earl Cooper.
Well, this is bad. His connection's been found out. Oh, they actually delivered the parts. Cool. So we're not going to build a device or a vehicle on the level of the Batmobile. We're literally just going to take the Batmobile. I'd honestly prefer if he just made like a Penguin mobile with that same kind of grade A tech. But that works too. Obviously, it's a beautiful car.
Earl, my good fellow. I'm afraid the warranty on this vehicle has just expired.
It's just like I figured, boss. The onboard computer routes all the controls through a main switch.
Then we're going to pull a switch on a switch. Now what?
Oh, the flippin' thing darn near electrocuted me. There's some kind of security device to keep it from being tampered with.
Then disconnect it.
Oh.
I wouldn't even know where to look for it.
Well, I know who does.
So we're just gonna fuck it up again?
And
That's kind of
he's going
lame.
to help us, aren't you, Earl?
Just take
In
it.
your dreams, Pinocchio.
And how, pray tell,
Nice.
did that costumed clown give you such a bad case of loyalty?
None of your business.
I'm making it my business.
Yep, got the daughter.
Perhaps you've heard of my umbrella weapons. Would you like to see what one can do to your daughter?
Don't listen to him, Dad.
Okay. If you must know, I used to be an engineer at Global Motors, till I predicted that one of their new sports cars would have serious problems with its brake design. But they
Of course it
ignored
looks
my
like the
warnings and
Batmobile.
introduced a new model anyway.
But Cooper, the boys in legal say we can't be held accountable.
We're talking about people's lives here.
And?
Well,
They don't have dollar
thank
signs.
you for your time.
Let it go, Earl.
Hey, you've got a bright future here. Don't blow it. He's gonna report it, I know it.
Then if our Mr. Cooper is going to become a liability, I suggest we take steps to minimize our risk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the hell is with the bat logo?
That same night, they sick some hired muscle on me.
Seriously?
He saved my butt for sure that day. But long after the global scandal was forgotten, I still had a reputation as a whistleblower. 20 years in the business, and I couldn't get work as a rent jockey. I was down to my last dime, no money, no job, and no prospects for one. And then he saved my life again.
Hey, that is... Oh my god, that is so cool, a retro Batmobile. I love the logo, or just the...
I need a new car.
The cape at the top.
It was a
in the
challenge
front.
of a lifetime.
What happened to
It
that
took
one?
me 6 months to come up with the design specs alone. Titanium construction, ablative skin cowling, trinitro propulsion units.
I like this because, again, it
He
shows
paid
that
for
Bruce
it.
isn't adept
Cash.
at
Found
everything.
a site for a garage, too, and outfitted it to my specifications.
Yeah, but
And
think of the
paid me
taxes on
real
that.
Well. Freddie got his money's worth.
He set you up here, huh? Well, now you're going to set him up. Now be sure to do exactly as I tell you, or the next person who gets a jolt out of your security device will be your charming daughter.
Yes, Batman, it's ready anytime you want to pick it up. He's on his way.
And we will be ready for him. Won't we, Earl?
Well,
All right, gentlemen.
that's
battle
terrifying.
stations. The bat is about to bite. The dust, that is. Put her in the limo. Insurance, just in case you forget your lines. And do take a good long look at your friend, the Batman. After all, you'll be saying adieu to
You'll
your
never
best
see him
customer.
again. Oh dear me. Still a beautiful car.
Looks great.
I forgot Robin was here, honestly.
Wasn't it? You look tired.
Yeah, well, it took longer than I figured. See, haven't even had time to clean up yet.
Where's Marva?
Oh, down in the basement. Got some cleaning to do down there. In the basement.
Nice.
By the way, I even fixed the air conditioning switch.
Right.
Nice. Little words here and there that are off-put.
You did good, old man.
Just enough to fool these idiots.
They just left.
What's bugging you?
He seemed upset. Something's just not right.
The penguin!
Come play catch. Yeah, Bruce has got to think this is what this is sus as hell. So how do you fix this?
Nothing. We've been sabotaged.
Never mess with a man's car. It's like rule 101. You're looking for a grave, penguin. Aww.
Bye-bye, bats.
Man, how did he get control of the car?
He got control of Earl. Come on, we better bail.
Yep. There is no way of out. No escape for you. Wow. We're just taking him on a cruise ride, honestly.
Stand by to eject.
I hate to burst your balloon, Batman, but now it's time for you to go.
I've got a feeling we're about to take the hard way down.
Down? The basement.
Huh?
Earl, he kept saying basement. It's a racing term. When drivers crash, they say they've gone down in the basement. He was trying to warn us.
Well, a bit late now.
The air conditioning switch. He said he fixed it.
What the hell? That's new. Fucking jetpacks in here?
Pity. It was a magnificent vehicle.
Yeah, but you still got the hostage, which sucks.
All right, Earl.
Right.
That looks
Boom,
fun as
sky
hell.
high, huh? That's all, folks.
Nice reference. You need better hired help, Penguin, honestly.
Wait! Hey, boss, behind us!
What? It's not possible. Get us out of here. Get him off us. Lose him.
Crap. But he still has the girl.
Come on!
Let her go, Penguin.
Kill her and you lose your advantage point. Nice. Oh, that's just disrespectful, man. You give him the finger wag? Oh, that might be the biggest disrespect he's ever given a villain.
Only till you see the new one I'm setting up for you.
Hey.
But this time I had my backers set up dummy corporations to order the parts through, so no one can ever trace you again.
Nice.
Yeah? Wait till you see the new Batmobile. It's gonna have tritium thrusters, dual accelerators, fuel-injected turbo boosters.
And a whole bunch of extra shit they probably will barely use.
One back for you.
Oof. I'd say poor Penguin, but no. I wouldn't say that was as good as the last episode, but that was still a pretty cool episode to end off on. You know, I did question before about Batman's connections and how his insane tech, you know, kind of outdoes his own company in the military and whatnot. And I do like this, you know, because it does show that Bruce isn't about everything. You know, I feel like that's kind of one thing about the character, is that he feels a little too perfect at certain times when he pretty much, you know, can do everything on his own. You know, he doesn't even need Robin in some episodes like the Riddler ones, because he always figures out the riddles on his own pretty easily. You know, so this is a cool one to where it finally sees that, you know, his loose connections that actually help him be Batman, you know, a mechanic. You know, Bruce is a fighter, he's a genius, but he ain't an engineer. And he's not a mechanic, and, you know, all that technological intelligence, you know, of tech and whatnot is not really his forte. So it's cool to see that, you know, the connections Bruce has built throughout the series that have helped him be the Dark Knight. And I do hope we get to see more of that as time goes on, because, you know, a car mechanic and someone like a fucking jet mechanic, two different things. You know, Bruce has a lot of utility to his persona and a lot of different gadgets that work differently, and it'd be cool to see the kind of connections he makes to actually reach those heights. But this was really cool. Like I said, it goes to show that just one act of kindness or just being Batman. Ew. I keep spitting. Sorry about that. You know, just his acts of being Batman helps him build connections and help changing people's lives to where they are eternally grateful. And because Bruce is a bit of a billionaire, he can fund them to keep doing what they love and keep helping him as Batman. Bruce got his own private engineer of a mastery level that can build him the best gadgets that there are, which was pretty fun. This might actually be my favourite Penguin episode so far. It's really fun to see. Again, it helps expand, you know, the lore of Batman overall, and it might have been one of his best schemes, you know. Just hijacking some of Bruce's tech and actually using it against him was really fun. Really fun to see. This was really cool. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this episode. So yeah, this is pretty fun. We're two sets away now from the end of the season 1 of Batman, and this has been long. You know, I will not lie. Doing consistently 5 episode sets for this entire thing is a pretty big challenge. You know, I'm definitely never doing something like this again after this series. With this much, with these kind of big sets, but I still have a lot of fun. You know, it's helped me get through the series at a consistent rate, and I'm still enjoying it, so, you know. It's challenging at times, but it's still, I'd say, worth it overall. The only thing is that, yeah, editing these together and just making the YouTube ones as well. God, it takes a while, it really does, but hey, I'm still enjoying the series overall. If I wasn't, I'd just quit anyway, so I'm having fun. You know, like I said, we're almost done with Season 1. I think then we have a movie and then Season 2 and then something else to do before we reach Season 3. So, not too far, you know. I'm not even going to be finishing this this year, and I'm hoping that I'll be done with the animated series before July. Well, actually, no, maybe not before July, because July is 2 months away if I'm not going crazy. Oh yeah, June of course. Before July, I think I should be done with the animated series, and then I think I've decided that after I'm done with this, I'm gonna start doing catch up, because I have a lot of series that I need to play catch up on, like Rick and Morty, SAO, Konosuba, and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my goal after after Batman. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this set. I had a good time, and yeah, it was really fun. So I'll see you guys next time.